Welcome to Professional Food Photography Technique, episode number 5. Today it's a little different than before. The other projects that I've gone over have been actual jobs, whereas this is an image that I did for myself. The reason a professional photographer shoots for himself is a couple of reasons. One is you need material to market with. You can be really busy as a professional food photographer and not walk away with any portfolio pieces, for months at a time. Yet you're doing a lot of work, you're making clients happy, but you're just not doing anything that really excites you. So every once in a while I like to shoot for myself, and I end up using the images for direct mail marketing or just something for the portfolio or whatever. But yeah, over time, like as I walk around outside the studio, I'll run into places, if I see things for sale, or if I'll go to the mall, I'll look around and I'll run into props that I think are really cool, so I'll pick them up for the studio. And I run across stuff like, for example, these baskets. And I ran into them. I was up near Hidden Valley, Pennsylvania, if anybody knows where that is. And there's like a little shop up there that has all this homey stuff. And my wife drugged me into this place, and I ended up finding a bunch of stuff I liked. But I like these baskets, and I thought, oh, I'll do a shot with that. And also this background I had made probably 3-4 months ago when I was in my background craze, and I thought, oh, this could be nice. This could be nice together. So what I decided to do is take a half a day and just play around with some portfolio shots. So I think this could be a good learning experience for you guys, because I'm not really restricted here on what a client wants. It's more just me, just what I want to do. And I thought there were some interesting things here. I really liked the color palette of this. I liked the brown eggs and the brown and the sort of rainbow kind of background in the material. So one of the things I wanted to point out here is when you're shooting straight down on something, it is real easy to make the mistake of turning the image around later to see where you like it. I mean, that's not really a mistake. It's, we all do it. But I'll give you a hint right now. If you're shooting straight down on something, you don't really want to shoot straight down on something. You're going to be a little bit off axis somewhere, and if you end up holding the image incorrectly, it's going to give you a little sense of vertigo. I don't know if you've noticed that before, but on this picture, it looks like I'm shooting straight down, but if you look a little harder, you can tell that I'm not. As you can see, this line right here, I'm looking almost on the outside of that, whereas this side of the basket, I'm seeing the inside, and the same works here. So I am not shooting straight down. I am tilted up just a little bit, and I think that's important because that keeps you from getting that sense of vertigo. If you ever look online and you see somebody's photo and you're like, whoa, so what's wrong with that? You can't put your finger on it? That's what it is. And there's another subtle thing that tells your subconscious that you're not looking the right direction too, is if the light comes from on top. That's sort of a cue. I mean, very rarely does the light come from your body. You know what I mean? Like, you're usually sitting down at a table and the light comes from the other side of you. So that's where this shot here is. Okay, so this is the end Photoshop file, and while I'm here, let me just show you a couple of things. I did some levels here. Here was the retouching. It was just a little bit of something. There's like a little doodad here, a little doodad here, and I probably just not cloned them, but used the rubber stamp. Levels, I just tweaked them a little bit, brought it open a little bit, and then I used the saturate tool just to get a little bit more oomph out of it and warm it up a little bit. Okay, so let's start our normal walk through this thing. Okay, here we go. So here's the final shot. This is the one that was retouched into what you saw here. And as you can see, I kind of like, it's kind of on the moody side, and I think I lightened it up a little bit, but I really like what I ended up with. I think I just had enough shape on these eggs, and I like the sort of randomness, and I was real pleased with this. I liked it a lot. Here's where I started out. It's my typical, don't know the exposure, just turned on the light, see what happens, and boom. Actually, well, we'll go down. Okay, so here we go. This was my, again, I composed this a little bit in live view before you get to see these photos. So I'll just kind of run through these, and I'm playing with the light. I couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to do with the light. You can see right now the light's coming from this direction, and it's really lighting this up in here. Another thing about napkins, well, let me get a little tangent here. If you have a shot and it's just not working out, add a napkin. There's something about some material just softens photos. The stylist that I used to work with, Ziggy, he would say, it's too hard. We need to soften it up a little bit. And so that's if we would add a napkin, 9 times out of 10, it would just add that little something to it. Okay? So here we go. I'm playing, just trying a little different composition here and there. Forgot to push a button in. My 80mm macro lens is manual, so you have to hit a button to focus and then hit another button to close it down. It's a pain in the butt, but I still love that thing. You can see my lighting from below and from on top. And I'm just experimenting. Maybe I want to come from that direction. Maybe this works. Maybe I turn it around this way. That's kind of interesting. You can see, I think I'm a little overhead more. Let me see. Okay, let me just keep on rolling. Okay, strobes didn't go off. Here I am back where I was pretty much. The light, okay, this is a good example. See how this background is real light? That's because the light is too high, okay? That's one of the biggest mistakes novice food photographers make, is they have the light too high. So if you lower the light, it will skim everything a little bit more. This exposure is a little hot too. Okay, you can kind of see from here to here. I changed the direction of the light. What I was looking for, and I'm experimenting at this point. So I was thinking, okay, there's just too much lit here. Okay, now if I bring the light around, I can get shadow into this area here. So that's kind of where I did. And then I'm thinking to myself, this is a good start. This is a good start. This gets kind of moody here. I know I can flag all this stuff out here. Okay, I know I can flag that and get that moody. This is looking really good. I'm really liking this. This looks a little weird here. I don't know if I kept that or not. But this is looking pretty good to me. Okay. But I do like the fact that this came in shadow here. So light, dark, light, dark. I mean, that's what, I call it tonal undulation. Light, dark, light, dark. It makes things more interesting. Okay, there's my strobe didn't go off again. My exposure's too high. I'm playing with this, playing with this. Okay, so here's where, okay, I know I can darken these edges. Well, how dark do we make them? So I put a flag on the end. That's too damn dark. Okay, pull it away a little bit. Okay, that's good. I did the other end. I got this kind of where I wanted over here. Now I added another one over here. Okay, moved that out a little bit. See how I brightened it up right there, right in this area here. Okay, now there's a thing I like to do. I call it something right outside the frame. Okay, see how this is casting a deliberate shadow here, and it's into the frame. Well, that sort of tells your brain that, hey, this isn't just a photo shot, a desktop. This is a real environment, and there's real stuff in it. I don't think this was successful, but that's what I was trying to do. Okay, so I backed it up. I tried 2 of them instead of 1 of them. I didn't like it. I took it away, thinking, oh man, okay, there's a little bit of it there. I was thinking, worst case scenario, I can burn that in. But see how that like brings the color in? I mean, you can always edge burn, you know, with Photoshop, but I've never been able to pull that off really well. It just doesn't work well for me. It kind of gets gray. I don't know about for you. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, and maybe one of you guys can tell me what I'm doing wrong in the comment section or something, but I can never pull that off. I mean, I'll do a layer of levels, and I'll drop the midtones down, and then I'll burn through to it, and it just, I don't know. I'd rather do it in camera. Okay, here I am playing with the outside. I spun the egg a little bit. Okay, here I separated, like this egg right here, I separated this away. To me, that looks a little more random. You know, I think one of the hardest things to do in photography in general, especially food photography, is make things look random. That's a really tough thing to do, and it drives me crazy. Sometimes I just throw that crap down on the floor and see what happens, but it is tough to make things look random. Okay, here, I kind of have things where I like it. I'm experimenting now. I add a little fill light to that, and that's where I left it. Okay, so I think I went with the darker one. Let's see, Photoshop, 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 Photoshop. Maybe just cut that whole thing down, sorry. Okay, so that's where I am here. In hindsight, I think I like a little moodier one, but let's see. Let's see what it looks like there. I mean, I could kind of live with that. You know, I'm seeing the bottom of this, top of this. I could live with that. I mean, that's kind of an interesting shot too. Let's spin it one more time. Okay, hold on. Spin it some more. See what I mean about the vertigo thing? That's just kind of creepy. Same here. It just isn't working. I mean, it seems to be able to work real well like this and like this. Either one of those would be fine with me. Another thing I forgot to mention earlier is whenever I have a clear pattern in the background, like see how these things are going side to side, it's kind of diagonal. I usually don't like horizontals. I don't like vertical. I like diagonals. I don't know what it is. I just always like that a little bit better. And I probably flip this from side to side, flop it side to side. I don't even know if I have that capability here. But so yeah, that's where I am on this. And I hope I covered some interesting subjects for you. I'm working on another kind of show. I have like maybe another 5 of these lined up where I'm just going to kick them out and release them one a week. But I'm also working on just a video where I do a screencast and talk about composition. So I'm working on that. I think that should be pretty interesting. So maybe I'll get that out within the next week. But okay, well, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please subscribe, please like, and stay tuned for the next one.